Okay, I know I don't do videos very often, but I just I feel like I have to talk about this. I just This is beyond awesomeness. And of course I'm talking about Batman the episode Chill of the Night. This episode may very well qualify as the greatest episode of Batman ever in any series whatsoever. This may possibly be the greatest. Which is really weird when you think about it because it's a Brave and the Bold episode. But honestly, I think it might be the greatest. I mean, it doesn't even really feel like a Brave and the Bold episode. I mean, yeah, you have the guest stars, you have all the elements that usually take up a Brave and the Bold, but in this case, it's it feels very different, and I think that they did that on purpose. I think this is an episode that is obviously very purposely designed to cater to the fans. This is definitely a total fan episode, and I think they did a great job with it. I am thankful to them for creating this episode because it is just awesome. Alright, some reasons why it is awesome. Well, first, it delves into the Batman mythos so well. I mean, it starts right off with, uh, Batman as a kid, and it follows the scene directly after what we see in the Christmas episode with Red Tornado. Batman with young Bruce and his parents coming out of the movie theater and encountering Joe Chill. And it's just, perfectly executed. It's just a great scene. And then it transitions to him by his bedside, making his vow, and it's almost directly from the comic. It looks almost exactly like the panel from the comic, from the original comics when we first see Batman making his vow as a little kid. It's just beautiful. And then we see the transitions, see him building up his body, building up his mind, putting on the costume. And then the rest of the episode is, of course, dedicated to Batman, finding out about Joe Chill, about the exact circumstances of his parents' death. And it's just awesome. It's just very well executed. It's a brilliant story. I think my favorite part of the story is the characters, the two sort of assistant characters of this episode, which are the Phantom Stranger, who I honestly have never heard of before, and the Spectre, who I think was originally a member of the JSA. I seem to remember him being a member of the JSA, but I can't be certain. They're just really great characters. I mean, and the symbolism. They just great symbolism. I mean, you have Stranger, who obviously is representing Batman's conscience, his desire to bring justice and not just killing his enemies, desire to be truly good, while Spectre represents the polar opposite of the spectrum, where he still wants to do good, but in the very different sense, in his bringing vengeance, not justice. Bringing death rather than forgiveness, and it's very great. They perfectly dichotomized characters, and the way they interact with Batman, it's it's just beautifully executed. It's just wonderful. I loved it. And I especially love the scene where Batman goes back into the past and actually interacts with his parents in the past. I mean, at first I thought, wow, this is a little weird. He's actually talking to his dad in the Bat costume. And that was another great thing, the whole bat costume thing. I mean, it's probably one of the weirdest parts of the mythos that Thomas Wayne at one point actually dressed in a costume that looked like the Batman, and that might have subconsciously inspired Bruce when he designed his own costume. But it's just really cool here to see that and see the way he reacts to his parents, and that he can't even resist hugging his mother because, you know, I mean, the whole thing is so beautiful, and I, I, I just can't help it. I love this episode. It's just so awesome. And then there's the visual aspect. I mean, it's dark. This episode is really dark. It it looks like an episode from the animated series, and to be honest, the whole episode itself doesn't even feel like a Brave and the Bold episode. It feels more like an episode of the animated series. It's just really brilliant. You got the red skies over Gotham. Everything's dark. Even Batman himself is darker. His costume is significantly darker. It's not blue anymore. It's the really dark blue and black. It makes him look more like the